And today I have a new team for you that I'm using on Explore difficulty 12. I would probably call it like a fun extra turn team, maybe gobtruffle, shuffle 3.0, something like that. It's a kind of low rarity team where you only need one mythic to make it work. The other thing here would be the Celestial Flask, but you've had multiple, you could got this multiple times already, so you should have the Celestial Flask as well, but we have Marilith, Celestial Flask, Gobtruffle, and Mistralis. So Mistralis here is just an epic Celestial Flask. You've had multiple opportunities to get this by now. Gobtruffle, an easy to get legendary from the underworld, and then just one mythic, Mistralis. And you could probably put whatever you want here, but we're kind of going with the theme of extra turns. And this, by the way, is brought to you by Glorfindel. So this is his third team that he's shown on the channel. First two went really well. It was the Moon Mage team and then the Truffle Shuffle 2.0 Natureborn Hunter team. So should be pretty fun and should be pretty awesome because he's a really good team maker. So shout out to Glorfindel for the team. All right, so we're going to go to difficulty 12. I'm going to show this team. Once it gets going, like the enemy doesn't get a turn. It's really fun. Everything on the team has an extra turn. The only thing would be Marilith doesn't have like an automatic extra turn, but the way that you play it, she ends up getting an extra turn like 75% of the time. So she's the only one on the team that doesn't have like an automatic extra turn. And then of course we got to get the team going first. So once we get the team going though, you can end up like the enemy never gets a turn and you're just doing damage and getting extra turns over and over and over, and it just stays on your turn the entire time. So first thing we're going to want to do, I kind of mixed it up too. He had it in a different order. I don't like mana blocking, and so I kind of mixed. The order he had it in was something like Mistralis, Marilith, Mistralis, Celestial Flask, King Gobtruffle. But then like the Gobtruffle and the Mistralis were getting blocked in or something. I don't remember, but I switched it up a little bit just to like the Mistralis has brown and yellow, so why not put her at the bottom of the team? Because she's not getting mana blocked at the bottom. And then Gobtruffle can move up a slot and then catch more blue and green. And then we have Celestial Flask catching some blue there. So, and I also did a 50% start. He recommended Elementalist at first, then he said maybe Archer or Tidecaller. So I went with Archer for the 50% start. The Green Storm, we got 2 green troops. So yeah, let's get started here. The first thing you're going to want to do is match green or red. Try to get that Mistralis up as soon as possible. So I'll just take this red right here. The banner I'm using, I think, is the Maze banner, just because I'm minusing purple. We don't use purple at all. So I went the Maze banner. So there we go. We got up our Marilith. We're going to still want to look for extra turns on the board, though. We're not just going to be casting. We will eventually, but at first you're going to want to, make sure you get all the extra turns off the board. All right, now Marilith is going to get up our whole team here, pretty much. Bang, now we're ready to go. So now you will cast these troops. The priority order would be from bottom to top. That's another reason I put them in this order. It's easier kind of to explain this way. You cast from bottom to top. So you're going to cast Mistralis, then you'll cast Gobtruffle, then you'll cast the Flask, then you'll cast Marilith. So let's show that. We'll cast the Mistralis, who has an automatic extra turn. Does some damage. We're in Explore 12 right now. Then we're going to go with Gobtruffle. Then you might want to look for extra turns on the board just to make sure it stays on your turn, but we don't have any right now, so we're going to cast the Flask. That puts those mana potions on the board, and then you cast Mistralis. It blows up the mana potions. It gets an extra turn a lot of the time. Sometimes it won't, but let's watch. Whole bunch of red and extra turn, right? Now we got the Flask again. Now we got some other stuff going on. We got this green right here we can take. We got Gobtruffle. So from top to bottom, our priority, we're going to do Gobtruffle. Still our turn, by the way. Now we do Mistralis. And it's still our turn, and we're still doing damage. Let's go. Anytime you don't have Gobtruffle and Mistralis, like they're both down, you want to look for extra turns on the board. So we're going to take brown down into that green. We got Gobtruffle again. Bang, extra turn. Looking at the board, seeing if I have anything on there. Don't. So now we'll do Flask into Mistralis. Hope for an extra turn. Look at that. Extra turn. Start from bottom to top again. And they're all dead. And here I am explaining it and everything like it could go a little bit faster. This isn't like, we're not saying this is like the fastest team ever. It's kind of just a fun, low rarity, only one mythic, keep it on your turn type of team where a person that maybe has Mistralis and has been having trouble doing Explore 12, they could now do it and probably get it done over and over and over, because if it stays on your turn the entire time, this is what I always preach, like extra turns are king. If you keep it on your turn all the time, then you can't lose. So let's match this blue extra turn here. Now we're looking for red and green to start it off. So we'll take this red into that brown. That's an extra turn again. Still our turn here. We're going to look for red again, red or green. Okay, now we got Marilith. Hopefully she'll get up our whole team. Let's take this green extra turn. Let's take this other one. And then, yeah, Marilith time. Gets up our whole team. Now we can get going. So from top to bottom. Once you have everything up, from top to bottom. Mistralis. Then gobtruffle. Then you kind of look at the board. Do I have any extra turns or not? I don't see any, so let's go with gobtruffle. Oops, I should have just casted gobtruffle. Alright, any extra turns on the board? No, so now it's flask time. You hope for anything but purple, but still, even if you get purple, you can still get an extra turn and try again type of stuff, hopefully. And we got Mistralis there. So extra turn into Mistralis. Into gobtruffle. Now we look at the board. Do we have any extra turns there? Don't see any, so we go with the flask. Got blue. That's a good color. Green would be the best potion to get, but blue's a nice one too. Got everything up again. It's still our turn, by the way. Mistralis, gobtruffle, win. So, as you can see, after like turn 2 or turn 3, it is like never the enemy's turn, and you're just doing damage and keeping it on your turn and not dying with just one mythic. Alright, let's try this again. Let's get a boss chest at least with this team. I'm going to show it at least that long. Alright, we got a red extra turn. We're looking for red and green. Alright, do we have any other extra turns? No. So let's go with this green. Now Marilith. That's just to get everybody up. Pretty much every single time it gets everything up. Then you go from bottom to top, right? So Mistralis. Gobtruffle. Look up gobtruffle. Up gobtruffle. Okay, now we're looking for extra turns on the board. Yep, here's one. Gobtruffle. Gobtruffle. Keep mixing up Mistralis and Marilith. They have similar names. Mistralis and Marilith. But see, that no turns for the enemy there after a certain point. If the enemy only gets 1 or 2 turns, they're not going to kill you. So it's pretty safe. Alright, no extra turns on the board, so let's take some red. Let's take red and green. Where is red and green, please? Anything? I don't see it. Alright, we'll take this brown and hope for green up top. Got it. Alright, now we Marilith, get up our whole team, right? Oh wait, we have an extra turn. Alright, gobtruffle time. We got webbed. I guess, like, freeze could really screw up this team a little bit, but I haven't seen it yet. And we're just doing Explore difficulty 12, right? So you can put yourself in places where you won't get freezed. So it's not always, like, if somebody says that to you about your team, like, yeah, but what if somebody freezes you? Like, then you just take it places where you don't get frozen. Like, the same with the Nature-Born Hunter team. You need to fight against beasts for that to be, like, really, really good. But it can be used other places, too. But some of these teams are very specific of where you take them and where you use them, but they're good at what they do type of stuff. So let's go gobtruffle. And Mistralis is webbed, but, you know, still an extra turn and free, so let's just do it. Jumble up the board. We only have Marilith here now. No extra turns either. Hopefully she gets everybody up. And she still got an extra turn, so gobtruffle. Look for extra turns because... Oh, wait, we have Mistralis. I almost want to forget about her here since she's webbed. We got this green. We got gobtruffle. It's kind of turning into the gobtruffle show in this one because Mistralis is webbed. No extra turns there, so let's flask it up. And then Marilith. All that green with the green storm. Should get an extra turn for sure. Alright, gobtruffle, because freaking Mistralis. Alright, look for extra turns. If we don't have an extra turn, we can jumble the board with the Mistralis and actually use her, even though she's webbed. Jumble the board up, maybe we'll get an extra turn. Yep, here it is. Now we got gobtruffle. So she's still useful even webbed. And she's enchanting on 4 or 5 gym match, so... Even if she's webbed, she's still useful. Taking extra turns. It's still our turn. Alright, now, we don't have anything going on here. We're gonna... Oh, yeah, we do. Back to the gobtruffle. Woo! We win. So yeah, mostly this team is about keeping it on your turn and winning like that. It's not about doing it fast or anything. It's more of a low rarity, one mythic team that keeps it on your turn and helps you win in difficulty 12 Explore, or whatever you want to do with it. I would just maybe not PvP, because PvP people freeze and whatnot, and you could get frozen. Big old red there, that's perfect. That gets up our Merilith. We cast it. Gets up almost everybody else. Gobtruffle. That's Mistralis. Now we look for extra turns, because we don't want to, like, we have a really good chance if we cast the Flask and then cast Merilith. We have, like, a really good chance at an extra turn, but you don't want to risk it if you don't have to. So let's take this brown. And now we have to risk it, because I don't have anything else. So let's go. Flask it up. Anything but purple, please. Green is perfect. Look at all that green. Look at all them chickens. And Gobtruffle. Mistralis. Anything. Here we go. Green. That's Gobtruffle. Alright, anything on the board. Here we go. We got extra turns here. We got brown. Got Gobtruffle. Got brown again. That gets up Mistralis. That's the win. So you see how, like, if you keep track of how many turns the enemy's getting here, right? If you keep track of how many turns the enemy is getting on this video, it's going to be something like, yeah, they'll get 1 turn for every 10 of my turns. Mostly early in the battle. So I'll get a turn, they'll get a turn, I'll 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 get a turn. Something like that. Sometimes maybe it goes, I'll get a turn, they'll get a turn, I'll get a turn, they'll get a turn. Then it's me, 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 me. So they'll get 1 or 2 turns, and then it's just our turn for the rest of the time, and we win. Alright, here's a big old red that gets up Merilith. Making sure there's no other extra turns on the board. Let's go with the Merilith. Get everybody up on our team, like 90-something% of the time when we cast that. Alright, now from bottom to top, right? Priority, bottom to top. Mistralis. Gobtruffle. Gobtruffle. Extra turns are next priority, right? We're looking at the board, looking for extra turns. We want to make sure we keep it on our turn. Huge green. Looks like nothing, so we're gonna have to go with the Flask into Merilith. Anything but purple, please. Even after you cast the Flask, you could look for extra turns with the potions that you make, but I just usually cast Merilith, you know. Alright, from bottom to top again. Mistralis. Gobtruffle. And we almost got it here. Any extra turns? No, so Flask into Merilith. I got one there. It's pretty close, though. Alright, Gobtruffle. Gobtruffle win. So, keeping it on our turn. No turns for the enemy. Alright, so that's about it. Let's just do one more battle just for fun here. And that'll be it for today. I'll show the team code. He mentioned maybe doing Tidecaller or Elementalist or Archer. I picked Archer for the 50% start. He didn't mention a banner. I went with Maze Banner because we don't use any purple, and I chose to, you know, exclude purple. And then the only good banner that used like multiple colors that we have multiples of was Maze Banner, because we have 2 red troops and we have 2 green troops. So of course a blue banner would be nice. We got 3 blues, but there's no blue with a minus purple. And I usually start with, like, minusing whatever I'm not using, and then trying to get, you know, double up on something I got multiples of. But, alright, we got blue here into blue. That gives us the Flask. Got a brown extra turn. Got a red extra turn. I think that's about it. So we could cast the Flask. See what happens. Not much. It's probably a mistake there, but, guess we just take it and hope for an extra turn. Yes, we got it. So, hey, first extra turn. Might as well take this. Why not? And then, let's do Gobtruffle. Gobtruffle. Then we look for extra turns. Okay, any here? There should be. Look at that. There should be, but I don't see anything. I think I'm going to take this green and hope for green up top, maybe. Nah, we'll just do Merilith. Let's go. Let's get everybody up. Let's get this show on the road. Give them a turn, but now they won't get another one. Now they shouldn't get another one here. And looking for extra turns. Okay, let's see what happens here. What color do we get? Red. That's not bad. All right, let's go again. Let's look for extra turns first. Okay, brown. Okay, red. Okay, nothing. Okay, so flask. Purple, of course. Okay, let's get this purple out of here. Let's get this green. Let's cast the gobtruffle and win. So, you see, they don't get very many turns. The enemy gets 1 or 2 turns, and then we, like, get turns until we win. Type of stuff. That wasn't a good battle to end on. Let's make it a good one for our last battle. I haven't lost at all with this team, and it's not slow. If you get used to it, you got to be using a team for a while to make it faster and faster. You can't just... This is the first time I've used this. Alright, so I'm not going to match skulls. I don't want that. I want green or red. But we don't have any, so let's just take some yellow, I guess. Or let's take brown and hope for, like, blue. I don't know. Alright, we need red and green. There's green. Here's some red. Alright, now, it should be our turn pretty much the rest of the time. Alright, from the bottom to the top. Here we go. Ready? Mistralis. Gobtruffle. Gobtruffle. Mistralis. Gobtruffle. 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 Bang. See that? Once I said it wasn't going to be their turn anymore, it wasn't their turn anymore. And it may just look like a Gobtruffle team, but it's like the Merilith gets the team up very quickly. And then the Mistralis is there to do that extra free damage with an extra turn and to enchant the whole team and to jumble the board sometimes. Then the Gobtruffle, of course, it's a Truffle Shuffle team, so he's going to be used a lot. And then it's like if you somehow get out of your little loop there, you can do the Flask into the Merilith, and as long as it doesn't put purple up there, and even if it does, you're still pretty good, you're still fine. But anyway, that's the team. I like it. It's fun. It's just another option for you for Explorer Difficulty 12 or whatever. Probably, I don't know, dungeons. If you can go like a blue-red, or what would it be? Yeah, like a blue-red faction. Something like that. So, shout out to Glorfindel. Thank you for the team, man. I like it. It's fun. It's a fun extra turn team. That's a low rarity. That's the best way I can describe it. And as long as you don't use it somewhere where you're going to get frozen, you should be fine. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel, comment below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.